Hey guys, the fifth book in the series of the Vampire Chronicles that I'm about to review is Memnoch the Devil. The one that was originally really not liked back when it was released and caused a lot of controversy for what the subject matter was. And that's kind of gained more of an acceptance and cult following since then. So a lot of people still don't like it, a lot of people love it and say it's the best in the series, but originally this was it. Back when, in 95 I do believe, when Memnoch the Devil was released, it was going to be pretty much the end of the Vampire Chronicles. And so it kind of ends that way. So what the story's about is that Lestat is once again having a crisis of faith after killing a murderer. And he has just this feeling about questioning about God, and even meets, I do believe her name is Dora. It's been a while since I've read this book. A televangelist, a preacher. And he hangs out with her a little bit, but where the meat comes from and where the story takes place and what the title comes from is that all of a sudden he meets the devil, and he calls himself Memnoch, and he says he is better known as the devil. And I'll just leave it right now. I'll leave it like that. But he gets the tour of what the devil really is, and he sees heaven. He sees the tortures of hell. Lestat does, and by the end it drives him crazy. I want to say more, but it drives him crazy from what he sees. And this story, it affected Lestat so much by the end of it that he had to be chained up, literally and physically, by Maharet from what he's seen and experienced. The devil shows him. He shows him what it was like before, when man first interacting with angels. He goes into that. He pretty much paints the picture that the devil's not a bad guy, that he's actually trying to help people get to heaven. So, like I said, there's a lot of controversy now. The biggest scene I can think of that keeps sticking out of my mind, besides what happens to Lestat at the end of the book, it is the scene where Memnoch takes him to the crucifixion of Jesus, and Lestat wants to drink Jesus' blood. So, yeah, there's a lot of controversy to this book, but for a future book that came out, Prince Lestat and the Realms of Atlantis, it kind of watered down this story. I don't want to say too much about it, but is Memnoch really the devil? You find out later in the story, in the series, but Prince Lestat and the Realms of Atlantis, like I said, a future book, kind of watered this down to where it's not a bang, pow, in your face kind of book when you know the real truth behind what happens in this story. What's cool, though, is, like I said, Lestat by the end of the book, he's mentally frazzled. I mean, he's seen hell, and he went through time and saw Jesus' crucifixion. He's left a mental wreck, and he's also left with one eye. He loses an eye in this book, but does he keep it, like one eye, or does he get it back? You find out when you read the book. But overall, it was an interesting book, and I can definitely see where the controversy is. But like I said, and at the time, I thought it was pretty good. I don't think it was the best book in the series. My favorite book in the series is not people's favorite book of the series, but is it better than Tell the Body Thief? Yeah. Is it better than Vampire Lestat? No. Interview? No. In my opinion. But this was the quintessential book for so many people, is Memnoch the Devil. Especially back during the 90s when everything was just so dark and bleak, and this came out and it just added more. And like I said, this was going to be the end of the series. So, with all that said, I give it a 4 out of 5. Like I said, it's not my favorite, and it's not the worst. So that is Memnoch the Devil. Definitely controversial, at least then, until they went maybe a little too far and watered this book down later in the series, which I'll eventually get to. So that's my review, short review of Memnoch the Devil. Controversial, still good, but not shocking really by today's standards with so much stuff coming out. I mean, you've got the Da Vinci Code that said this and that. So, I mean, there's been a fair share of books that's been thrown at religion and Christianity. So, maybe not as shocking. Like, you might read this and think, wow, really? That's what the big deal was? But yeah, it was pretty big at the time. Anyway, that's Memnoch the Devil. And I'll see you later, guys. Bye.